Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to a new episode of Kamen Rider Reviews. This time I will be doing a review on Kamen Rider Den-O. I have my notes here, so let's get this thing started. This season, like I said, is Kamen Rider Den-O. It is the 17th season of the entirety of Kamen Rider. It is the 8th season, however, of the Heisei Riders. This season has 49 episodes, and it aired between January 28th, 2007 to January 20th, 2008. There's two prominent Kamen Riders in this TV series. You have Kamen Rider Den-O and Kamen Rider Zeranos. Let's see. We have and the series is about the main character's name is Ryotaro Nogami. He has very bad luck, and the character is made for comedic timing, so it's overall the series had its and he becomes Den-O. Yeah, a guy with bad luck becomes a superhero. Yeah. With Den-O, he comes with different forms, so yeah, this is how it's gonna go. With Kamen Rider Den-O, you have his sword form, so it is Ryotaro Nogami, and he plus Momotaro's, which I will get into later why there's two for that too. Then his second form that he receives is Kamen Rider Den-O Rod form, so it's Ryotaro Nogami plus Urataro's. And then his third form is Kamen Rider Den-O Axe form, which is Ryotaro and Kentaro's. His fourth form is Kamen Rider Den-O Gun form, which is Ryotaro and Ryutaro's. Then you have Kamen Rider Den-O Climax form, which is Ryotaro plus the Momotaro's, Urataro's, Kentaro's, and Ryutaro's. Then you have Kamen Rider Den-O Wing form, which is Ryotaro and C. And then you have Kamen Rider Den-O Liner form, which is just Ryotaro. And then he has a couple. I think he has one more. He has a couple of other forms. I think the only other form that Ryotaro uses is Kamen Rider Den-O Super Climax form, which is Ryotaro plus Momotaro's, Urataro's, Kentaro's, Ryutaro's, and C. Then you have the next Kamen Rider, which is Kamen Rider Zeranos. The guy that is Kamen Rider Zeranos is Yuto Sakurai. And then you have his next form is Kamen Rider Zeranos Vega form, which is Yuto Sakurai and Neb. And then you have his final form, Kamen Rider Zeranos Zero form, which is Yuto Sakurai. Now, you're probably wondering, which I'll get to in a minute. The allies of the season is, you have Hana. She is a girl that is from the future. The future was destroyed. The time that she comes from, she is destroyed. So she travels around in time on a train called Denliner, and she meets Ryotaro, and he becomes Den-O, and they become friends. Near the I think a little bit over halfway through the series, she is turned into a little child, which she is now known as Kohana, and it is because of a junction point which is interfering with time. Then you have Naomi. She is the diner carts server. She serves anyone there with coffee, food. Then you have Owner. He is the person that owns Denliner, and he is the one that pretty much decides if you can stay or not. Then you have Station Master. He is the one that actually runs the actual main point where everyone can get off and go do things. So he's the Station Master, and he looks oddly similar to Owner. Then we have Airi Nogami. She is the older sister of Ryotaro, and she is the fiance of Yuto Sakurai, which I will explain that a little bit later. And then you have there are two characters that are throughout the series of Milk Dippers, which is the name of the coffee shop that Airi and Ryotaro runs. And these two characters frequently go there, not just for the coffee, but for Airi. And they are Seiji Ozaki and Issei Miura. One looks like a shrine priest, and the other is just a reporter. And then you have Past Man, or also known as Yuto Sakurai. Well, before I start going on, I should clarify this whole season about pretty much time travel, because Den Lighter can travel through time, so it can go to the past, or it can go to the present, or it can go to the future. Now, like I said, Airi Nogami is the fiance of Yuto Sakurai. Well, she doesn't remember that because after a tragic incident, she doesn't remember any of that. But the person that's Kamen Rider Zeranos that we know through the series is the younger version of the Yuto Sakurai that Nogami knows. But I think one time you get to see the older Yuto Sakurai transform into Zeranos I think you only see him fully transform once. And so now, like I said, there's a reason why the Den-O can transform into different forms, plus Zeranos, is because they fight the enemies known as Imagine, which are led by Kai. He is the main antagonist. Imagines are these creatures from the future that comes to the past, and they possess people, and they grant you your wish. And once they grant you their wish, they open up like a time portal in you and fly back to the past, and they just start destroying this past, which will affect the present. So Kamen Rider Den-O and Zeranos have to fight him, so yeah, they fight him, go back in time, sometimes go to the future. I don't think they've gone to the future, no. Or they stay in the present. Now, the reason why Kamen Rider Den-O has so many forms is because on the belt there is 4 buttons. There's red, blue, yellow, and purple. Each of those buttons represent a form. Red is sword form, blue is rod form, yellow is axe form, and purple is gun form. And then you have throughout the series, Ryotaro is possessed by 4 Imagines, and these are different Imagines they're different from the other Imagines because these 4 actually turn out to be nice, and they don't want to actually destroy the past, so they help Ryotaro defend it. And they can each take turns possessing his body. So the thing is that once one of them possesses Ryotaro's body, like fully possessed, they pretty much take over his body and become their own person just through Ryotaro's body. But he can still control. He can sometimes push them back out and take control of his body, but sometimes he can't, especially in case of Ryotaro's. Now, when there is 5 Imagines total that has 4 of them still has possessed. 5 Imagines total has possessed Ryotaros that I know of. Well, actually 6, but 5 mainly. Well, 4 mainly, but 5, 6. Yeah. Momotaros, he is the sword form. He is the default form of Den-O. He's kind of a hothead, and he likes to fight. Then you have Urataros, he's a liar and a womanizer, so that's fun. Then Kentaros, he likes to train, and he's narcoleptic and doesn't really know. I would say he's smart, and no, he's not bright, I would say. And then you have Ryotaros, who is pretty much child. His personality is childlike, so that kind of not sometimes. And then later on you meet Sieg, who is the 5th Imagine to possess Ryotaros, and gives him his wing form, which we only see once in the show. No, twice in the show. But he's mainly he debuts in one of the movies, so he's kind of just a movie Imagine. But he's not really one of the main 4. And then Ryotaros was also possessed by the Neb once, but he never transformed since there's no way to turn into. There probably is a way, but I don't think so. But anyway, yeah. And plus, it's like, I think it's really, but overall, let's see. And then you have Kamen Rider Zeranos. You have the younger version of Yuto Sakurai, who is Kamen Rider Zeranos, and he has these cards which, every time he uses them, it pretty much erases his existence from the timeline, from any timeline, from time itself. Little by little by little, until he runs out of cards, and then his existence is gone. But that's only the first set of cards. But he gets another set of cards, and if he does that, he pretty wipes up. But he gets a special card where he can turn him into his next form, his final form, which is Zeranos Zero form. But instead of also, as well as erasing his existence from time, it is eating up his certain memories that he chooses. So, yeah. But then you have, when Deneb possesses him, he can become Kamen Rider Zeranos Vega form, which is the form before Zero. Because, like I said, Zero is his final form. But overall, I really like the series. I really like the different personalities that each of that Momotaros, Kentaros, Urataros, Ryotaros, Sieg, and Deneb brought to it. Especially when Momotaros, Kentaros, Ryotaros, Momotaros, Urataros, Kentaros, and Momotaros, Urataros, Kentaros, Ryotaros, and Sieg possess Ryotaro. Because, of course, since they have their own personalities, so when they possess Ryotaro, it's pretty much Ryotaro's body, but it's Momotaro's personality and him controlling his body. So it's really cool. And I just liked on how they had different personalities, and that really made for a dynamic between each characters and the Imagines. It was just overall a really good season. I would definitely watch it again, which I will be doing later on, probably after I finish all the reviews, or maybe just whenever me and my friends get a chance to actually watch Kamen Riders, watch it. But like I said, overall it was a really good season. I can't wait to actually watch the movies so I can get the reviews done. So I can't wait to actually not just watch the movies and then do the reviews, but like I said, it was a really good thing. The story was well done. I liked the story. I liked the creativity of the series. The comedy was very good. Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. The action was good. The time travel sometimes, I think when they introduced, as it got to like near the end, it got a little bit confusing for me. But eventually, I understood it, but it was still kind of like, what? It's just something that you have to take time to process a little bit. And probably afterwards, you probably want to do like a little bit of some research into it to actually make sure what you're thinking is correct. But overall, it was really good. So I can't wait to watch the movies and get those reviews done. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That is it for this review. So like this video, share it, subscribe to my channel, like my Facebook page, which I forgot to say that in other videos, but oh well. Comment down below if you've seen this series. If not, whatever. Comment down below anything you want. I don't care. So I will see you. So until next time, see ya.